book with test audiences. Here it is, the book on lolcows.
Lolcows?
And now we go here.
Never-ending tragedy, and there's a whole chapter on the quartering. Jeremy Hambly, aka the quartering. Why didn't he look at all into what book he was promoting, buddy?
Hey guys, welcome to Financial Audit with Luther Morgan. Today we're going to be very fair to the quartering, and we're going to go over his truth, his lies regarding his finances, what his finances are like, and unfortunately reveal that he is drowning in debt. Now, some people might say, why do this? Why go over his personal stuff like this? I didn't do this. He did this. He's been talking about his personal finances, his debt, his mortgage, a lot over the last couple of years, including specifics. So he's the one that made this a topic of public discussion. All I'm doing in this video is fact-checking him. Now, I have documents to back this stuff up because these are publicly available documents. You just have to know where to look. In the Register of Deeds and so forth. However, his wife's name is on them, and so is his address. So his wife is not a public figure, and I don't want to give that information away. I don't think that's fair to Mrs. The Quartering. That's what I'll be referring to her as, Mrs. The Quartering. And I also don't want to dox him. So it has his address in it. I don't want to dox him. So let's get into it. So the Quartering purchased his larger house. This is the house with the office tour, the saltwater aquarium, and the RC track in April of 2020 for $1 and other consideration. This other consideration could be anything, so that doesn't mean that he only paid $1. I think this was for the land only at this point because the deed does not have a street address. The MLS says he bought the property for $480,000.
I had no money in the bank when I bought this house. I had like $100,000 in cash and that's it. And like, I should have had many hundreds of thousands.
Right there, he just said it, where he got this house for $100,000 cash. So if the purchase price was $480,000 and the mortgage was for $408,000, the loan was about $72,000 with closing costs and other fees. That statement is actually pretty accurate. So I think he's actually telling the truth there. However, he only purchased raw land, so there was no house, there was no building on it at that time. He had to take out a construction loan to build a home. So he got a construction loan in May of 2021 for $1,252,000, about $1.25 million, at an interest rate of 3.125%. And he's mentioned that interest rate before. He's actually telling the truth about that. Now, the problem with the quartering is that even though rates were at record lows, he purchased or got a adjustable rate mortgage. So the adjustable rate actually kicked in May of 2024. And if you look at what are the average rates in May of 2024, they're about 7%. So his original monthly payment, this does not include insurance, by the way, so it's just taxes, principal, and interest. His original monthly payment was probably about $5,300, something like that. But by May of 2024, this monthly payment increased to $8,300 approximately. So it went up about $3,000 a month, or about $36,000 a year in interest alone. $36,000 a year in interest because the quartering did not purchase a fixed rate mortgage. It was an adjustable rate mortgage. So that's an ouch. So this is the very infamous My Coffee Company is Under Attack video that he released in March of 2025. And this is also where the quartering potentially gets caught in a lie. Because in the video he says that he put about $80,000 on his credit card. So let's go ahead and roll the clip.
To pound sand, or I don't know what's going on. We haven't heard anything back. This is absolutely crippling. I'm already so overextended with Coffee Brand Coffee. I feel like they knew this was the time that they could really cause maximum damage. What is the solution? Well, it's to buy about $80,000 in equipment. And I didn't know what else to do. I can't miss Mother's Day. It's our biggest sale of the year. And so I said, okay, fine, put it on my credit card. We're going to just...
So the problem for the quartering is that he has a home equity line of credit. So in January of 2025, and it was recorded in February of 2025, he had a home equity line of credit for $302,900. So so from February to March, he either blew through $300,000, or he's just lying about spending $80,000 on a credit card. So, but he alludes to this $300,000 worth of debt in that same video. So let's go ahead and play that clip.
Inflection point where a lot of companies would take on investors. You know, I've got $300,000 almost floating right now in debt. I'm just being dead serious because of the huge stock up for Mother's Day. Now I got to buy this machine I wasn't.
So there was a lot of speculation back then whether that was real or not. Was he really in $300,000 worth of debt? And the answer is yes. We can definitively prove that. We can actually verify Hambly's claim that he was $300,000 in debt, because just a couple months earlier, he had gotten a home equity line of credit for approximately $300,000. So TheQuartering went into, according to him, $380,000 worth of debt over coffee brand coffee. So let's go over 2 lies that TheQuartering has told about his mortgage. So the first one is from August of 2025.
I'll splurge, but
Yeah.
I try to I live it a little differently for the same reasons even though I have a good mortgage rate.
He doesn't have a good mortgage rate. That's just a straight up fabrication. He has the average mortgage rate because he has an adjustable rate mortgage. So by August of 2025, he had lost his coveted 3.25%, and it's now whatever the average was in that time. So that he doesn't have a good mortgage rate. It's average.
My
Right.
friend tells me, hey, you don't pay off your mortgage early. You're stupid. Oh, did I freeze up on my end?
No, you're not frozen.
Oh, okay. He's like, why are you doing extra payments to your mortgage? Da, 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 da. I'm like, I know, but no one else except other content creators will understand.
Right.
I could get canceled tomorrow.
Exactly.
And I know that you're saying 3% is a good interest rate. You shouldn't pay it off. You should put some money in long-term savings, blah, blah. No, I pay I pay 3x, 4x.
Term income from this.
Right.
Yeah.
If I have to go back, if I have to go back to working a job, which I'm totally fine with,
Right.
I can't have the content creator mortgage.
Exactly.
It's got to be paid off.
So I don't know why he would lie about this. I don't know why he would present this idea that he's been making payments to pay his mortgage off early. He's actually been doing the exact opposite of paying his mortgage off early. He took out a home equity line of credit. So whatever equity he had in the home, we don't know exactly what his equity was, but we do know that he took out $300,000 worth of equity for coffee brand coffee. So it's just very perplexing. Why would you lie about this idea of paying your mortgage off early when there's documentation proving that you did the exact opposite? So let's go to the second lie that he tells here in just a minute. I hope you're enjoying this video. I just wanted to let everybody know that I did write a book on internet lolcows. It's the world's first book on internet lolcows, and there's a whole chapter dedicated to TheQuartering. We go over his internet history, as well as the different grifts that he's tried to pull. Not just TheQuartering, but there's also 5 other lolcows. We discuss the phenomenon as a whole, the history of internet lolcows, and so forth. So please give it a check. If you like this video, the book is available on Amazon, it's available on Kindle Unlimited, and then it's also available as an audiobook on Audible. So let's get back to the video. Let's do one more of Hambly's lies regarding his mortgage. Very strange to lie about this. Let's do one more lie about Jeremy's mortgage, and then we'll do the final tally on all of the debt that Hambly has. So,
The mortgage on my home is 2.75%.
Right.
My credit has only gotten better since I got that loan.
So this guy really plays fast and loose with the truth, because his loan amount was never 2.75%. At the low end, at the beginning, it was 3.25% in May of 2021. But he very foolishly got a adjustable rate mortgage, so most likely it's about 7% now. So he's paying $36,000 a year extra in interest alone because he failed to get a fixed rate mortgage back in 2021. So let's look at the final tally here really quick, and then we'll get to the debt. So originally, so this would have been the lowest monthly payment he ever had. It was $5,300 approximately. His interest rate got really increased in May of 2024, most likely. So he went up to $8,000. And then because he took out a home equity line of credit in February of January, February of 2025, his monthly payment now, and you see it right there at the bottom right-hand corner, it's $10,300 approximately. That does not include homeowners insurance, by the way. So $10,000 a month is what Hambly has to pay just to keep his house. That's $120,000 a year. So that's why he's so stressed out all the time. That's why he has, bags under his eyes and why he can't sleep. It's this constant monthly extraction of money that is keeping him up. It is quite shocking. Here's the really devastating part for Hambly. Let's look at what he paid for the property and the house compared to what it's worth. So he spent $480,000 on the land, and then he had a construction loan for approximately $1,250,000. So the total price for buying the land and building the home was $1,730,000 approximately. So how much is the house and the land worth? Well, according to the county assessor's office, his land is worth about $1,340,000. So if that's true, if that's a fair market rate for his house, as you could see on the far right column, that means that Hambly's negative. He's actually underwater on his house $390,000. And it gets worse. If Zillow is correct in the actual valuation of the house, they think it's worth just over $1 million, then that means he's almost $700,000 negative. And then Redfin is basically the county assessors, so it's just under $400,000. So he's $380,000 to $680,000 in the negative on this property. Devastating. I hope you enjoyed this video where we went over some of TheQuartering's lies and did a financial audit on him. Please subscribe for more. I might do 1 or 2 more videos on TheQuartering. I will also be releasing additional sections from the book, so stay tuned for that. If you like my content, please check out the book. I go over TheQuartering's grifting extensively in the book, so if you want to learn more, I would definitely recommend checking that out. And thank you for watching.